Well, hello, you beautiful people out there in the land of the YouTubes. Welcome back to another episode of MMM as we torture ourselves with another Twilight movie podcast. Welcome, everyone. So we're doing February is the month of Twilight. Since we had such a great time doing it in the fall, we figured let's make a whole month out of it, and we picked February because we're racist. No, I'm just kidding.
It's not racism; it's lactose intolerance.
There you go. Oh God. So anyway, we're here, episode 104 of the show. We have some great guests with us today to talk about this movie. Part one of the two-part finale. I will say, and we were talking about this backstage, this movie started getting back to why I love the first one so much. Not that it's a good movie, it's just so bad it's good. It's so much comedy that's unintentional. And we're getting back to that now. And I guess breaking the part two of this these last two movies makes it even worse. Meaning it's even funnier. So I watched this with the family this weekend, and we had a great time just laughing at Bella and her stupidity and the way she had this baby. We'll get into all this though during the stream. So we have Mr. Dan from Scene Invaders back on the show again. Welcome back, buddy. It's been a minute, but we're glad to have you here, man. And so Twilight, since we've watched 4 movies now, did you first see this movie in theaters? Did you go with a girl? Were you trying to get laid? Or is this years later you watch this?
You're spot on. There was a girl in college that liked Twilight, and she would, we'd get lunch together and she'd talk about it. And I was like, I talked to my brother. I'm like, oh, I gotta watch Twilight, dude. So me and my brother went to Blockbuster and rented the first 2. Nice. And then I caught up, and then I had to keep watching them because once you start, you can't stop, right? Mm-hmm. So I had to finish them, but yeah, this one's pretty bad. It's funny.
Yeah, it is definitely funny. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Mr. Stepenza, welcome back, buddy. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you, buddy. And then what about you? So was this something that was same thing?
I'm like no, I'm like a Gore King where I don't know if I watched all 5 of these movies after they were out, after the rip tracks came out. I watched those that way. But I got to say, when the first movie came out, I remember I was living with my band at the time in Austin, and I remember one of the biggest copes was my bass player going to the movies because his girlfriend took him to go see the first one. I remember he came back from the theater and he's like, it honestly wasn't that bad, dude. I was like, yeah, it was. And he's like, no, it wasn't. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was like, you're just like it because you got your dick sucked afterwards, you know? Like,
that would do it. And of course, my beautiful co-hosts, Gore King.
Hi.
We do love this franchise. You own them on DVD.
I do. Yeah, I do find it interesting that we have a panel of just men. I'm pretty sure just heterosexual men talking a Twilight movie. That's pretty amusing by itself. But yeah, like Enzo said, similar to me, I saw this for the first time years ago for with the riff track. So this morning was really my first proper watch of it, just paying attention to the movie. And kind of like you said, yeah, this kind of is going back to what makes the first 2 movies as funny as they are. It's not quite the same level of so bad it's good. This one really toes that line of being so bad it's good, or just being flat out bad. But I think there's enough funny here to where I don't hate the movie. I wouldn't rewatch it as much as the first 2, but
the second half of the movie brings the
enough
funny.
Yeah, once the wolf scene happens,
get
really funny.
God.
Yeah, that's a new one, right? When the wolves talk for the first time, right? It's interesting though, because these movies are like competently made by professionals, and it's just hilarious, and kind of like Gord was saying, I mean, I got given the list of the MMM movies to pick from, and I was like, I'm doing break it down 1 and 2. Like those are the ones I'm picking just because they can't all be bangers,
No, I agree. White Bear, you beautiful specimen, you.
Hey,
welcome.
Kind of sad that AJ didn't come back on the show.
Yeah,
we could have had the dominated by the gay werewolf thing. It is what it is. But yeah, I started watching this. Well, actually, I had to catch up from the one I didn't watch the other one when I was sick because I was like, I'm not going to throw that shit while I'm sick because I can give you AIDS. So, I was being health conscious, stuff like that. But this one kind of left me, I don't know. I ended up getting, like watching that one and then this one and then part of the next one. And so I'm definitely, I'm in the zone now, buddy.
We're in the zone, all right.
We're going to have like a good 40 minutes at least of scenes where she's giving diarrhea face and all we have to do is skip it. So yeah, like her first diarrhea face in this movie doesn't show for 10 minutes. So.
Why do you just subtly said that you're in the Twilight Zone?
Was that subtle?
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, I feel it.
I feel you feel something, baby.
Yeah, I mean, after that, you gotta feel something.
You gotta feel something. Oh my god, this movie, man. Okay, let's just get into this because it's just so much happens. Of course,
I love that it's PG-13 in part for flashing lights.
Yeah. Yeah, not what's his name sucking blood from her. Never mind.
You know what?
I found all the other stuff, but flashing lights. One of the.
I found out today that it's actually got like a PG rating in most of Canada, except for I can't remember if it's Ontario or Quebec, but that one province city it has a G rating, which is like not appropriate. Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, the opening of Jacob running out of the house because he's pissed off. He got the wedding invitation. I'm like, oh god. Of course, he rips his shirt off because
rips his shirt off right off. Yep.
Yeah, right away.
Some for the ladies right away. And
then,
I think that was supposed to happen at the end of the last book.
Right.
Should have happened at the end. That would have been a good, better cliffhanger at the end of the last movie for sure.
Okay, so real quick, so this version is clearly not the version I watched because I watched my Blu-ray copies include the extended version.
Excuse me.
There is a scene at the beginning, which actually starts with the Volturi, which they get an invitation, and there's actually this really hot chick that brings the message who they end up killing, and there's like a bunch of blood on the floor because there's a bunch of dead people around. So that was actually kind of cool. But I am the only reason I bring this up is because that dude who sits on the right of Otto is so freaking funny. He's probably the funniest character out of all of these movies because every syllable he utters is just ridiculous, so overly posh.
Oh my!
He's like, he basically like, oh, they're getting married, and he's like, oh, joyful,
how wonderful.
I miss taking.
I love that guy.
Wonderful people. Yeah, and this is Bella basically getting ready for the wedding. And what's her name again? April? Is it April?
Alice.
Alice. Sorry, Jesus.
I don't like the hair. Yeah, I don't like the haircut they gave her.
No, but she's got
different in the other movies.
She's got a different hairstyle in every movie, and you know what? She is gorgeous. She has been naked before in movies. You can check them out. She's great, and she's been in Hallmark movies before, so she's like dream woman for me.
Nice.
Yeah, now. Yeah, Bella here, like the act. Fuck's her name? The actress. She looks very strange in this movie. I know it's probably because they were trying to because of what's going to happen to her and her body change and all that. But is it just me or like from the beginning of the movie, she looks super anorexic anyway, and like something's just off about her whole thing here. I don't know if it's
that they made her look like that in a way just to kind of.
I do now.
Like her transformation later.
Yeah, I do now, knowing what happened. I didn't know what was going to happen, so I was like, something's off about her. Yeah, she looks like she needs to eat some freaking meat, dude. Like, what is going on?
I mean, that could just be general Kristen Stewart vibes. I mean, the girl never closes her mouth, it seems. Whenever she does, we get like a really weird expression.
It's also like the first thing Ashley Greene like says to her, Alice, is like, you got to get your beauty rest. Like, that's such a good thing to hear. For your birthday or your wedding, and
then there's just this over dramatic shit between these two. It's like, God, man, I know this is really made for teenage girls. It's like, just Jesus, dude. It's just the same thing from every movie for like at least 20 to 30 minutes in these movies. It's just them talking about the same shit, this over dramatic love crap, and it's like, at least they
have to do this,
At least they're kissing in this movie and breathing normal. Finally,
it's that, and also her constantly saying, I don't want anybody to get hurt because of me. Yeah. You're going to get hurt because of me. I don't want that because of me.
Everyone who's gotten hurt in this movie is because of her, basically.
And Robert Pattinson, this awkward. He smiled a lot in this movie, but it just felt, even as it like it just didn't feel genuine because either Pattinson's just like, oh god, I hate these fucking movies. I don't want to do this anymore. But
I thought his acting was pretty good in this movie.
It was better.
Considering.
It was better. It was better. He was. Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Did you see what he tweeted or Discussing Film tweeted out about him today? What he said in an interview, he's like, "Yeah, my fans are men now. That's cool.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Yeah,
wow,
that's a change,
dude. Good Time and Lighthouse. And,
good
movies, man.
Yeah.
He can act. He can act.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of great interviews today of him like trashing the movies, movies when they were coming out, just criticizing various moments in the interviews. And it's like, they knew.
He knew. They know. It's like it's a good paycheck for them.
Bank.
This, oh god, they all were. Yeah, this is Gore King's favorite part where he goes back and tells about his past.
Yes, he basically. So ultimately, if you think about this, he's Batman in this scene. He's got the more vampiric qualities of a bat, where he's actually sucking blood. But yeah, he basically is being a vampire vigilante.
Yeah,
and only going after bad guys, kills. Because remember, he can read their minds and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So he would know what their intentions are. And I was like, oh, Batman.
Yep.
And what's funny is like he told her in the first movie that he's killed people before, and he's treating this like this big revelation that might put her off. And I'm like, this is, if anything, this just makes those killings hit a lot less. I'd be like, oh, you only killed bad people? No biggie. It's fine.
Right. And also it's just weird. Like if I was a vampire, we were all vampire buddies. Obviously I would only feed on the blood of hot chicks. Like that would be the thing. And the idea that you're only feeding on the blood of like deranged men is like kind of homo, kind of gay.
It is kind of gay. Yeah, and then he's just like, I want you to know. Like, I'm surprised that he waited this long to tell her before they got married, but I guess whatever.
Apparently this history of him was in earlier books, and
they just added it here.
What's his name? He fought to like have it included in the last movies. But again, it's stupid because it's like that's kind of the whole point of like being in love with a vampire. It's a monster, it's a killer. But the fact that it's like, oh, I'm actually, I only kill bad people. It's like,
here you go. We have a super chat from Houseman's Lounge. Gore King, this is for you. You want to read this?
Who is the liar but the one who denies that Jesus is the Christ? This is the Antichrist.
Amen.
Who denies the Father and the Son.
The Father and the Son. Thank you, Hostmans. I appreciate you. And for you, we're going to give you Spanish Chucky.
Que hables, maldito, de lo contrario te arrojaré al fuego.
A la verga me vale verga, perro. Y cállate a la verga, hija de su puta madre.
You can't deny Spanish Chucky, man. I'm sorry. German Chucky's better. But
yes.
Thank you, buddy.
What's funny is like the little girl robot from the second movie looks kind of like Chucky.
It does actually. It does.
I think she's far scarier, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh god, these two, and they're making out and they're freaking breathing and they're. Oh yeah, this is the bachelor party. This is one of the funniest parts of the movie, where they're going to be strippers, and he's like, "Oh, there's going to be mountain lions."
Yeah, I love that. I love the way it's like they're going to be strippers. No, just a couple of mountain lions, maybe a few bears. It's like oh, so you hired bears and mountain lions as strippers?
It's just absolutely so stupid.
They ain't cheap.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. And then she sees them go. Like she gets to who goes to bed with their clothes fully on too. Like, I don't understand.
Dude, that's like Leon. Leon telling us that he sleeps in his jeans. That's like psychopath.
No, that's lunatic.
Yeah, that is
that's
crazy
trans behavior is what that is. Freaking Leon. Yeah, and then is this where she has the dream of the wedding and everybody gets murdered? Yeah.
And it totally looks like a cover of a wedding magazine, and there actually is like I said, competent filmmaking here. But it's, obviously there's no subtlety with metaphors. It's very on the nose, and it's very much like the Nosferatu dream sequence. It's basically
except really, this scene doesn't really mean anything to the overall film. It does. No. It really means absolutely nothing. It's like this. It doesn't play into events later on. It doesn't feed into any insecurity she has throughout the film. It has nothing to do with the movie. It's just there. It's like,
it's similar with her like old lady reflection nightmare.
It's just the last one,
it's just it's like a they're kind of saying it instead of saying and telling instead of showing. Like we could all imagine like the implications of marrying a vampire, but they had to straight up just showcase it.
I love Charlie here. He's like, are these all like graduation caps? Because it's kind of creepy. And the mom's
They're stupid. Mom's like, oh, that's clever.
Really?
It's artistic. Yeah, Mustache Dad is like every guy's spirit animal watching these movies.
Yeah.
It's like, no, y'all, this is weird.
Yeah. And of course, there's the whole, they see her before the wedding.
I look hot. I was like, that's pretty funny. I liked that line. That was a genuinely funny line. Good delivery. It's like, good job. Yeah. Good job, Billy.
So this is him just bonding before the, and she's just before the wedding. And for a second, I was like, wait a minute, why are they not glistening? But I was like, oh, they're in the shade. So I guess the direct sun's not hitting them. It's okay. Fine.
They have the overgrown shelter.
Yep. Yeah.
So they split these into two movies to have a really long honeymoon. I think they just drew that out.
Yeah.
And then
and for the money.
Yes.
What is this, Adam Sandler?
But also, the wedding scene is very overlong. It's like kind of almost like the Deer Hunter wedding scene. Just goes on for way too long.
Yeah.
But also, I am kind of sad that this is the last time we see the human friends. Because what's her name, Anna Kendrick. Everyone saw the first movie and was like, "Who's that girl? Like, why isn't she?" The main character.
Yep.
She actually has like some spunk and she's cute and all the stuff, and just like Ashley Green, Anna Kendrick, like, more on them.
What was satisfying for me was I didn't remember really any of the lines or dialogue when I did my Twilight video, and she basically says in her wedding speech everything that I had been thinking the whole time when everyone's fawning over Bella. And I'm like, this girl's like smarter than Bella, she's better looking, she's captain of the volleyball. So she brings all these things up. I'm like, that's exactly what I was thinking throughout the entirety of Twilight. Everybody fawning over this girl who looks like she needs to go to the bathroom this entire walk.
Okay, so yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't understand because I'm like, is she expecting something bad to happen? Is it nerves? But her acting is so bad here.
This is the most joyless walk I've ever seen. It's so awkward.
I'm like, are you constipated? Did you eat Taco Bell before? Like, what is happening here?
It's like you're trying. Shouldn't this be like the most romantic part of the movie up to the honeymoon? My gosh,
she calms down when she sees him, of course, right? And then she smiles. I'm like, oh.
Well, I mean, it takes her a little while though.
I think Stephenie Meyer actually has a cameo in the guest.
Oh, she was a couple frames back.
And also, something about the dress they had. It was very important who designed it, and it's just like, ugh, it's awful.
Look at these two. These two look like they're happy to be. Look at their expressions. All right, you know what they're telling each other here? One more movie. One more movie. We're done. It's it. We're done. We're gonna be rich.
Did they date in real life? Those two?
Yeah, she cheated on him.
With that director?
Yeah, that director. Yep, that's it. You got it.
But you could argue the reason why he doesn't fall for Anna Kendrick's character is because she's very smart. He's too smart.
She would. She figured. Yeah, so she cheated on him in real life, and then now she's is a carpet muncher.
Anna Kendrick definitely has the better career than.
Oh God, yeah.
She's been like Oscar nominated, and
But do you think?
Yeah, but she looks like a bunny. She can't be a vampire. Bless her heart.
Do you think Kristen Stewart being might be a stupid question, being the main star of this movie, residuals and all, does Kristen Stewart have more money in the bank though than Anna Kendrick?
Probably.
You got the Pitch Perfect movies though. They made some.
That's true. That is true.
Anna Kendrick. I remember I always not half joking, like if they ever made a Squirrel Girl movie, Anna Kendrick for sure.
She'd be the perfect.
Sure. But also, Kristen Stewart, like she was in one of the best movies I watched last year was Love Lies Bleeding. That movie was great.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
I did just.
I didn't see that.
I did look it up just now. And
well, they have their net worth.
Anna Kendrick is worth significantly less. Like Kristen Stewart, they list her being worth about 70 million. Anna Kendrick about 20.
Wow. Well,
it's probably just based off this. Yeah, just all 5 movies, the residuals. It's always on TV. It's always, you know what I mean. Makes sense, and plus whatever contracts they worked out for themselves.
Whitey brought up Anna Kendrick looks like a bunny, but I mean,
put the
Kristen Stewart's one's got kind of the buck looking. She's kind of got the buck teeth. She's got the.
I'm not
And Kendrick's got the cans, man. So let's be real here.
I'm not. Listen, I think Anna Kendrick's like a cutesy, but I'm not. Nothing about her is attractive to me. She's.
I mean, I think Anna Kendrick's pretty good. I mean, yeah, she's not like hot, but I think she's good looking. Definitely.
I think she's
very-
cute.
I'm down for her.
Until she hogs
definitely
blowjob coin on the crypto market. Until then.
Well,
until then.
We were just talking about this with the Accountant sequel coming out, right? In the first movie, she was the love interest to Affleck, which I think she was terribly miscast in that movie. Terribly.
Yeah,
miscast.
yeah. I mean, because she more fits like roles like a Pitch Perfect, like Scott Pilgrim, stuff like where if you put her amongst her peers, she fits better as a romance option. Whereas Ben Affleck very much looks her senior, so it just doesn't jive well.
Oh, look, we have
guys...
Steph, my nerdy home is a big Twilight fan, so welcome.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
Yes.
that's very good. That's okay.
Yeah,
we enjoy
welcome
these
to-
two, ironically.
Welcome to Five Guys talking about Twilight.
Yeah. We're getting drunk doing it too. Did you guys see Anna Kendrick? She's in that Ryan Reynolds movie, The Voices, where he's like a psychopath.
That's a good movie. I like
that was
movie.
great. Yeah. But she is better in those kind of roles for sure.
Yeah. I like how they're kissing. It's just them. It's just them alone. No, everybody's gone because it's
Oh,
just
and
them
they have so many.
I
dumb
like more the
songs in these
idea.
movies.
Yes, the terrible music. Oh, this song. What if you listen to the lyrics of it? Watch the.
Oh,
lyrics.
it's horrible.
My kid goes, "What in the hell are they saying about rat poison rats?" And I'm like, "What am I?" And Sassy looks at me. And she's like, "Am I reading this stuff?" Like, I'm like, "Yeah." Like this is.
I thought the closed captions weren't working for us. I thought it was like one of those F movies closed caption things where they're all wrong.
It's so.
I actually more like the idea when they pan over and you see all the places empty. I was like, oh, it'd be so much better if that was just an indication that everyone left.
Gone.
They're like,
Well,
just
it's
gone.
actually really deep because it was the song they danced to at prom at the end of the first movie. So fuck it, losers.
Yeah, I like how they're like.
I knew that, but it's still
I know.
not a good song.
What were you gonna say, Dan?
Terrible song.
I feel like you skipped through 30 seconds of that first kiss. That was a really
Dude,
long
I'm telling you, like.
It
When
kept
I
going.
scrub through these movies, it feels like the scenes are it's the same scene constantly happening.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, this drags out way too long. Way too long.
Now,
just like it. Yeah.
It's the first
when
time
did they become friends? Like all of her friends. When did they start becoming?
That
friends?
was in the Eclipse. That was the third movie. They kind of like. It's assumed they were friends maybe before that because
they
right? Wasn't it Eclipse?
basically. Well, yeah, it's the previous movie. They kind of make a bit of peace because, especially with Jacob's dad, because they save his life. If you remember, he gets squeezed by one of the newborns and gets a lot of his bones broken. And Carlisle basically helps set all of his bones and whatnot.
Oh yeah, I was just talking about her friends. Like, I know, y'all did this last week, but it's just wild that her friends are suddenly like all super duper friendly with them and all that, and they still don't know. Say things weird.
I mean, they were just invited. I think I kind of got the impression they were just there because they were invited. They're not necessarily friends with the Cullens. They think, okay, we go to school with them, but they're a little strange.
This girl was like, oh, that's the chick from Taken.
Taken, yeah.
He's also Taken and first few seasons of Lost.
Yep.
Dude,
girl's got legs for days, for real though. She has got some of the longest legs for real. No, I'm just saying. I mean, it's like you watch her in interviews, it's like, holy crap, she's got long legs.
Yeah. She's pissed off though because she doesn't like the werewolves.
Well, she's apparently she was dating Laurent, who kind of got killed unceremoniously in the second movie. I think.
Let it go. Yep.
Yeah, he just got killed basically off screen. And it's like, oh, okay. And we find out, well, she was dating him. It's like, oh, okay. I guess that's bad.
Jungle fever, man.
And they have to like let the audience know in the the exposition in the first 5 minutes. You're sad because this person did that in the last movie.
These speeches, man. Oh my god.
I keep saying Emmett should never talk.
Oh, bro, these speeches are terrible. I know they're trying to be funny here and like do this quick-witted a comedy. I was like, it's just not working, man. It's not working.
Emmett is cringe just to look at. I don't even like looking at that dude. It's like
he is so listening to that like amped up Europe.
Yeah.
Music.
Dude, I will say Charlie's speech is like a typical dad. Like, I know things. I'm a cop. Like where to like find you. Like,
well, him and Anna Kendrick are the highlight.
Yeah.
Well, do you
he
guys
never changes his style? Nothing.
I mean, do you guys bring up in the last movies how like they have the Scut Farkus like yellow eyes? Like,
yes,
it's one thing. It's one thing where you have one character or two characters, but you're seeing like their whole extended family. They all have yellow eyes. You know, like we're just gonna ignore that.
Who didn't love the mom singing here? I was like, dude, get her. Is she in the
Kill
second
her
movie?
or me?
Please tell me she's not in the second movie. I'm done with this character. Please tell me.
I don't remember if she's in Breaking Dawn too. I don't
She
remember.
is so annoying. Oh my god, she's horrible.
It's weird if you watch the first season of 24, how good a character that actress is, and
That's what I'm saying.
She's in that season. I think like maybe the third and fourth one too. She is a fantastic character, fantastic villain. And then they put her in these movies. It's like, oh gosh, she must really need the money.
You know what this look is right here? I'm gonna get some of that vampire stuff. He's
also really weird that he's doing a wedding speech at his own wedding. You know?
Yeah.
Is that normal?
And then he gives the gayest speech I've ever heard because he's a guy and it's romantic or it's female move. Oh, it's just so bad.
I know the last wedding I went to, the bride and groom did not give speeches.
We were lucky men.
That's the whole point of the vows you exchange. That is your speech, you know?
Oh, look, they're all so happy and dancing. It's just and then he smells Jacob, of course, right?
Smelling dog.
Yeah.
Just another one of your gifts just arrived.
And she gets so excited. I'm like, this is the creepiest.
More mixed signals, you know?
It's the worst, strangest friendship relationship. It's just like she's like gets all wet. Oh my god, it's Jacob.
I mean, this is literally a connect. Like this is something no guy marrying a girl would be down for. Is her having a bestie friend that's a guy who's like all jacked and whatnot. It's like no,
and in love with her.
Nobody's. Yeah, it's like no, nobody's down.
Look at his face. That. He's
like literally, you've had fights with the guy over her before. You know,
he just disappeared.
Did anyone ever see Taylor Lautner in Cuckoo, the Netflix show?
I didn't even know he was in that. I know he was in a couple of movies after this show, after this movie, and they didn't do well. I didn't know he was on the show.
Him in Cuckoo is hilarious.
Oh, God,
I couldn't believe how funny he was.
I got to check this out.
It's really funny.
I know the show. I know of it. I just haven't seen it. Yeah.
Andy Samberg's in the first season, then he's in the second season.
Okay.
Poor Taylor.
Yeah.
Or nothing. He didn't deserve an acting career to begin with.
Oh, he was in that dumb cell phone movie, right? Isn't it just called like Cellular?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
you gotta find the woman who's kidnapped on this wrong number. It's so dumb.
This is how I'm gonna remember you, Bella. Oh God. Shut up.
Oh, and then he does the whole mood swing, which again, this is exactly why Edward was the chosen one, because like you act like a little bitch all the time. Like, wait, you're actually gonna have sex with him on your wedding night?
What?
Like,
you're gonna die. You're gonna die,
Bella.
She's
gonna die anyway.
Even if she becomes a vampire penis. He's gonna kill you. Yeah. He's worried about her though, Enzo. He cares. He loves her.
Yeah.
You know? Come on. Look at him. Calm down. You don't know what I can do with this thing.
I think it's so funny is this whole thing is over the fact that they're gonna have sex. It's like this is that's the framework for this entire scene, and he is really mad that they're gonna have sex. And I'm like,
he's like, it's his wife, dude. Like, get
awkward
over it.
And it's funny.
Yeah.
I thought
this is a plot point to a movie.
This
is a plot point to the movie. I mean, I get the reason and everything. It's just it's funny that a scene is constructed around this.
By the way, it's just almost 30 minutes into the movie. This fucking wedding is it's like just get over already.
Yep.
Deer Hunter, bro.
At least the Deer Hunter. Wait. Yes, the Deer Hunter. That's just what 70s filmmaking was. Though, right?
Ironically, I would much rather play Russian roulette after this wedding scene.
But at least like the Deer Hunter, the payoff. It's a 3-hour movie. Like you're right. It's a long.
Deer Hunter is obviously a better movie for sure. But I mean, it's a long wedding scene. This is longer.
Is it though?
Shut up, Gord. I'll fight you.
Is Deer Hunter a good movie? Is that what you're saying?
No, I was just sarcastically saying, is it really a better movie? Of course.
No,
I thought. I mean, I don't know. You might hate Deer Hunter. I
don't know. That's so funny. And then the mom's like, "I love you, Bella, so much." Oh,
do you want me to sing again?
You want me to give you pointers on how to?
Yeah.
Oh God, she's like, "You have no idea what's going to happen to me, Mom." She's like, "Yes, I do."
It's funny when Anna Kendrick and her the Asian friend are gossiping about why they're getting married. Obviously, she's pregnant.
Yep.
It's like, no, people don't get married at 18. You know, why else would you get married at 18? But like the idea that she's a virgin.
I don't think that's an Asian girl.
Yes, it is. Isn't it?
I don't think so.
Ethnic, the vaguely ethnic woman.
I'm trying to say they all look alike. Fuck Enzo, Jesus.
Well, apparently they all look alike some other ethnicity because I'm pretty sure she's she's a different ethnicity.
Indian, Mexican, what?
What is she? She looks Asian.
I think she's Hispanic.
Okay.
Well, they all look alike. Whatever.
Same thing.
yeah, exactly.
Rice. Still eating a lot of rice.
Rice. I know she played Rosita in Walking Dead. Rosita doesn't sound very Chinese. So.
I love this. So
oh wow!
Right. Wow. Okay.
To be fair, I knew a couple of Mexican dudes who were so Mexican they did look Chinese. So I mean, it's true. that is the thing.
Oh, it does happen. It does happen.
It happens. Crossing cultures. Yeah, I like
a friend named, I had a friend named Jorge who was looked like he was full-blooded Eskimo.
He's Italian and Mexican. There you go.
Oh, wow.
So basically Asian,
Very greasy woman. Jesus. It's a lot of culture right there.
That's a greasy burrito.
Yeah, I like how she hugs Charlie. Charlie's like, it's always going to be your home. It's going to be weird not having you at home. He never saw her anyway. She's always escaping or fucking doing something. But
yeah. I go to Isle Esme in Brazil, right? And they own an island, right?
I guess. Yeah.
Carlisle owns an island.
Yeah, the island. Yeah, this is a gift from Carl. Carly's like, oh, thank God this bitch is gone. I can get some peace. Watch the game. Drink my Rainier beer. just relax now. Oh, this dude, this guy. This is Gord's favorite character. Yeah,
Rex. Yeah, he's my favorite character too. Right? Yeah, and it's the first time he's not wearing a wig in one of these movies.
Right. At first, it threw me off, and then I love how the howling here. She hears the howling of, which probably is Jacob.
But it kind of makes sense because Ashley Greene's character Alice, she's always got a new cool hairstyle every movie. And the idea is she would make her fucking boyfriend do a similar radical hairstyle change. They dress him like that's how to dress him and stuff.
Look, they're in Brazil. Oh, how happy they are. Yeah.
One of the most violent countries in the world.
By the way, it's 30 minutes in. We still have no idea where this fucking plot's going.
Jesus,
I'm like sitting here. I didn't look at the time. Because when I really like the last one, Eclipse, I hated it so much. I kept looking to see how much time we had left. This one, I didn't.
Yeah, this one actually goes by pretty fast.
It goes pretty fast. And then I only checked it one time, and I was like, okay. Like I think it's the end of the honeymoon when they start to go back, and it was like 40-something, almost 50 minutes. I was like, what the hell, dude? It's more than half the movie is gone. I'm like, it's just this stupid, drawn out. And I get it. They're trying to spread it out.
It's weird because usually when very little is actually happening in your film, which very little happens in this movie, they get married, they have a honeymoon, she has a baby. That's literally all. Those are your 3 acts right there.
In the last 20 minutes is where everything else happens. Like they throw so much in the last
there's
20
very
minutes
little going on in this movie, and yet it kind of just zips by.
Another thing that is very like female fantasy in this is like we're gonna go to a secluded island off the coast of Brazil. We own the island, and there's like a small cabin, and of course it is like so modern and like super luxurious. The idea of them roughing it in some kind of actual like a cabin with like a wood furnace and like they have to pump their own water. They got a well. That's probably what would normally happen, and that's like the masculine urge. Like, oh, I want to go. That's what I'm picturing when we're like going to stay in a cabin in an island somewhere. We're going to sleep in a tent.
She should have married Jacob if she wanted to rough it.
Right.
Here, there's like 2 people that work here, whatever. I
they
guess
come in later on.
That's their job in life and all that. But like, she just so happens to like we have legends about people like you. That is like the most convenient shit I've ever heard of in the world.
I mean, it's like those. You would think those would be like the last people you would. It's like you probably wouldn't want to pick an island that is run by people who have legends about that could reveal what you are. That would be like the last people you would want to.
I love how he goes out. He's like, "Don't take too long." And he's like, starts undressing. I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Also, I love how much toothpaste.
Really weird song, by the way.
How much toothpaste she uses and spills it everywhere.
Right.
Yeah, this is like the opposite of the toothbrushing part of like Shaun of the Dead, which is edited to actually make that look cool. This is like really clunky and awkward.
With your ripped off Oyster card.
Yeah, this song is
her oyster is gonna get ripped off. All right.
The song has like the line like going together. It's like chemistry, like Satan and Jesus. I was like, what?
Dude, it's like ChatGPT early days was writing these songs for people.
She has like a nervous.
By the way, it's
breakdown.
like you realize once you realize that she's like, okay, she's coming out here to get in the water with him. It's like, why were you trying on lingerie to get in the water?
Dude,
Well, it's actually pretty base because like the idea is she's looking at this lingerie for the first time. The idea is Edward's like, you're gonna wear this on our wedding night. You know, it's pretty base. But she's like, oh, I don't know. I don't have. She can't find her swimsuit. She finds it later when they go.
Oh no,
to the
this
river.
was those were packed by Alice. She like Alice
even
packed all that
kinkier.
stuff.
All right.
Yeah, Alice gave her the lingerie.
All I did here is I made the joke. I was like, the night my parents died, Alfred.
I was just wanting it to be like when you get the shot of the two of them like naked from behind, it's like you see like fart bubbles and stuff.
Yep, yeah. Oh God, this is so bad. Again, we're just saying nothing's happened. It's just the stupidest. And finally, I've waited 100. Yeah, this lyric.
The banging,
dude. Like, and she's like, it's okay, and you know, and then he rips the freaking headboard thing. I'm like,
yeah,
oh
she's. I mean, I told you all this in the chat. She's basically like that OnlyFans model who did like 100 dudes and over the course of a day after just one go with Edward. She just apparently vampires do it in situations where you can die.
Look at that bed.
Look at that bed.
That's Lois Lane having sex with Superman for the first time. You know, it's probably something like that.
Something similar. Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
but he's faster than a speeding bullet, so that's easier.
He'd be done. She wouldn't even know it. Oh God.
But yeah, now she realizes she likes sex.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
Who'd have thought? Like really likes it. She's like, oh my gosh, sex is kind of awesome.
Don't turn me into a vampire for a while, all right? I want to keep.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the. Yeah, she's getting freaking wet in the bathroom thinking about it. Even though she's got bruises all over her fucking body.
Hey, she likes it really rough. Apparently,
yeah, she does.
Yeah.
She's like, oh,
so these scenes started that. What is it? The 50 Shades of Grey book, right?
Mm-hmm.
They
came out of these scenes, right?
Yeah, the fan fiction stuff.
Wait, you're serious?
Yeah,
I'm pretty
sure. 50 Shades is like this Twilight fan.
It's Twilight fan fiction, 100%.
Did not know that, and that makes sense, honestly.
Really, I'm fine. I like it rough, and my vagina's sore, but it's okay. So he like refuses to touch her again, basically, because he feels bad. He doesn't like sex. I guess so do these vampires not get off like normal human beings? Like they don't.
I would think that. I guess they do.
Well, see, I like the idea that vampires, they don't eat, they don't drink water, they don't have sex, they don't, they only drink blood. That's it. They're not humans. They're not alive. But it doesn't make any sense because like these vampires, they have this the venom thing is stupid. But like, they got no blood. They have like they're like made like statues. They have no body fluids. They don't make tears. They don't sweat, but they have ejaculate somehow. Like,
I love this. You're not going to touch me again. I'm going to make you breakfast. It's like, wait, oh my God. I'm sure the eggs are going to settle.
Yeah. Here comes some really overdone eggs and burnt toast and
by the way,
flabby bacon.
41 minutes into the movie.
And it's just like, holy crap.
Yeah, they play chess in like 3 different spots coming up.
Yeah, they do. You're right.
3
and she like
places they play chess.
And it's like we're on a tropical island next to the goddamn beach. Like there's probably tons of things we could do.
You see this smile is like, oh, this fucking movie, man. That's like that fake smile. Like
she's trying hard to seduce him, and he keeps laughing and giving the stupid grin, but then doing nothing with her.
I jerked off in the shower before. Yeah.
As if she didn't have like self-esteem issues as it was.
I would have laughed if he jumped with her and she smashed her head against a rock here. Fucking great.
Dropped her. Whoops.
Yeah, whoops, sorry. She's like, oh, you see this water around me? This is me downstairs when I'm with you.
Oh my God.
Oh God. Wait, is this where they bring in the oh no, not yet. Not yet. The housekeeping people that wipe.
He's like, oh, Bella, you think you have curves. That's adorable.
Yeah, you think you do. Yeah, and they try to, and then she has a nightmare, and she has like the strangest nightmares.
No, she has a dream, and she says she wishes it were true. That's what she says, and I'm like,
she's crying because it was so good in her dream.
She wish she had B cups.
But also, but there's also the horrible part where he covers up her butt. She's like laying in bed, and he's like, "Ooh, let's cover that up."
I mean, he has a mouth. He can do other things. No, I mean, no. Then he would probably bite her. And,
he does later. He does later. The kinkiest stuff kind of is at the end.
Dude, Charlie's like, what happened to her? Yeah, so she has.
I love that this cuts from. I love that those scenes just transition from the one before this to that.
To this, yeah.
No, scroll back too. So it's that,
Yeah.
and then you get Charlie's look.
sex.
Charlie, what happened?
It almost makes it look like he walks in and he's like, "What?"
Yeah. And then we get
his
Jacob.
Disappointment is
it's immense.
immeasurable.
And then you get the alpha of the wolf group, and just Jacob just being a little bitch again. She doesn't love me. She's gonna die.
How can you be an alpha? They're playing soccer. Nothing could be less alpha.
Okay. Yeah, and they have like this
American, had some self-respect, and
then this chick, the chick, what's her name? Leah? Is that her name? The girl that
Leah.
Well, it was pronounced both ways in the movie.
I'm sorry.
It
Thanks,
was.
Whitey. Thanks, Whitey.
I noticed that shit. I was like, what the hell?
Well, yeah. So they're having like this chat about, she's basically like, just get over it. It's fucking over.
Yeah, and they give a little bit of information, like
Imprinting.
Jacob's attitude towards imprinting is like almost
Imprinting
like
on children too.
Oh, dude.
Oh, boy,
That's what's going on the beach over there with the two. Yeah,
In the last movie, they were talking about how Jacob was.
No. That's not really what the movie's implying here. Those are their kids. Those are kids of some of those couples right there. But he's bringing up imprinting with the couples because he's like, you're not really yourself anymore. Like you're just kind of
you're never imprinting.
Imprinting makes you think you're happy.
Yeah.
You know how psychologically toxic that is. The idea that like you can't control who you're in love with, and like you're gonna once you're in love with them, that's it. There's no going back. It's like destiny. It's like, come on, dude. Like it's almost, a child's idea.
It's almost as messed up as the fact that the girl they picked for him to imprint on is underage, like genuine, like actually underage. So they had to CG a version of her that would be old enough to be with it. I'm like, that's so weird.
Yes. This is how women end up with Pete Davidson and shit, y'all. It's
this is where we get the housekeeper people, which you didn't see. It's like an old man and an old woman, and the woman keeps looking at him straight, and she's like, "Oh, she knows about you."
I was thinking the same thing. I was literally thinking that.
This was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Like, this woman was annoying. And yeah, you're right. White Bear's right. Like, why would you have these people who know about you and you're bringing these? Why would you have them?
It's not even good setup and payoff. They basically bring her in so he can ask her, "Is there any hope for this for
death?"
My life? And she's like, "No, death." And it's like that's her whole point, just for that. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah,
in our culture, it rhymes with susmortion.
He's gone to the mainland to hunt.
I love Edward's like calligraphy handwriting. He's all sophisticated.
Yeah. And so she drinks it, eats chicken, she makes chicken, and this is where she knows she's.
I think the note should have said, "Gone to the mainland to hunt. Brazilians aren't people. Be back later."
I'm gonna drop the crime population, the criminal element here.
It's the first time she eats meat in one of these movies, I think. And also, she grabbed the peanut butter and the chicken. I was like, oh, is she going to make like a curry, like a peanut butter curry or something? No.
The weird pregnancy cravings.
Yeah.
Actually, the chicken is bordering on raw.
Yeah, and then she runs to the bathroom, of course. And I'm like, oh, she's... So I'm like, of course. I'm like, okay, she's pregnant. Because I know she has a baby eventually in the movie. So I'm like, and then... but the baby's growing. So this has never happened before. Apparently, like a human has never gotten pregnant.
Yeah, they weren't aware that this could even happen. I guess because I mean, if you think about it, it's like the times that they have had relationships and whatnot. It's been after one's been turned and everything. So generally speaking, they're like, okay. Apparently, they know that there obviously there've been instances where
she could feel the baby.
Well, there's obviously been instances where vampires have had sex with humans. There would have to be for them to know it could possibly kill her. So they really don't explore that all that much, other than her getting slightly bruised. And it's like, oh, it's not really that big a deal. But
scabs all over the room,
If you see right here, go back.
I think there should be like various parts of various pieces of furniture that are destroyed would make this way funnier.
Well, like they said, they show off Bella's flat stomach, shows she's got a belly baby bump. But this is the one time where like. I think Robert Pattinson really excels at acting. Like this whole "I've got her pregnant," like his face is so perfect. No, he really legit. Like, nails it. Like that face that you make. Like, oh boy,
like, oh no,
this is real. Like yeah.
Oh,
he's great right
here. Yeah, it's so good. And yeah, this is where what's her name calls her.
Yeah, Alice.
And Alice she said she couldn't see her future or something. Is that what happened?
Like, number one, it's like, Alice, what are you doing reading her mind during her honeymoon, pervert?
Yeah.
But like they could be doing anything. Well,
that's something they learned in the
she's having a
last movie,
conversation
right?
with Jasper, like, "Oh, Bella's really enjoying it." By the way,
Yeah, no, he's 100 and what?
the steak
10?
is entering her heart through a different hole.
He's gonna rock your guts, baby.
Yeah, I think he's 110 or 111 in this
Something
by
like
this
that,
point. Like at this point,
But
yeah,
that's
it's
what makes Bella special, right? Like none of the vampires can use their powers on her for some reason.
Right.
She's the one, basically.
She is the one, the whore. No, yeah, yeah.
Well,
this
they're not really consistent with that. Like
No.
it's mostly they don't work, but in the second movie, a couple of them do work.
this
on
fucking
her, which is
music,
like,
this goddamn music, and these fucking lyrics, man. Oh my god. it's
Yeah, that's
so
the other thing.
bad.
You know, we're an hour into the movie, and I think it's we've got like 15 songs or something. Like, you know,
Yeah,
And none of them work.
no, no. Yeah, this is pretty stupid. Again, and Dan's right. They just keep going and going, and I'm like, oh my god. And then this lady runs in, and she's like, yeah, to get, yeah, what did you do to her? And I was like, what the fuck? You know, is she gonna live? And then she talks about the legends. Have you ever seen this before? Is she gonna make it? And death. And it's like, okay, like thanks for being in the movie for 2 minutes. Like,
That's like,
nothing.
thank you for expending your usage within 5 minutes of
5
knowing
minutes
you.
of the movie, and then nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
You
no
had a
use at all.
point.
We have to.
you
go
know what?
back
I
to
think
the
another
movie.
reason why the songs are terrible is because unlike the other movies where they're using like, you know, pre-existing Radiohead songs and cool stuff like that, like
Yeah.
this
They make
one, I
their
think
own.
most of the songs are new songs written specifically for the movie. Like, give the bands money too. It was weird.
That's a good point.
That's
This is where.
strange.
So she calls one of her friends here, right? I think. Who does she call here? She doesn't call her dad right away. Like I know.
Rosie,
Yeah, she calls somebody and says, "I need you to do me a favor." And then,
That's not one of her friends. Rosalie's Rosalie's the vampire who kind of doesn't like her.
oh yeah, the
But
one that
is
yeah,
more
doesn't
on
want-
her
started
side. She's
liking
more on her side in this movie.
Yeah.
You know, I was trying to recognize where do I know her from, and I just recently saw that movie 13
Yes.
with and
Yes.
she's not
did
only what's her name's friend, but I found out that she wrote that movie as a teenager. So
I remember how controversial that movie was, man. when it came
Yeah,
out. Holy
seriously.
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
Meg
Never
showed it
watched
to me.
it.
Yeah.
She's like, you gotta see this shit. I was like, okay.
Yes, Jacob comes home, sees Charlie, and then he knows something's wrong because she's been sick, right? For she's staying there for a little while longer, and Jacob's like, oh, I'm not stupid, I'm a werewolf. I know what's happening. Yeah, and he storms out. He's pissed.
It's kind of all he does between the last movie and this one is storm around everywhere. He's really
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's
a mad lad.
So Bella's been back for 2 weeks and finds out what's happening, and she looks so bad, obviously, because she's dying from this baby.
She's got the Skeletor thing going. I
Yeah,
swear.
and I'm like,
she's funny to look at for most
yeah.
of this movie.
I'm like, oh man.
Well, the special effects are great. They do a great job making her look emaciated and dying. And
yeah, they do. You're right.
But something that's funny is like I just thought of like you have an island off of Brazil. You know you're gonna get married and honeymoon there. Why wouldn't you plan your wedding to be like around like Carnival? You know, two birds, one stone type
Good
thing.
point.
I don't know. Like,
Well, I guess you could argue that they had to get it over with soon because of the whole thing with the Volturi, like basically making them rush this whole ceremony so it can be turned.
So they're trying to explain to Jacob like they don't know what the hell's really happening to her, and this has never happened before, and basically
That's the part where the movie is very, unlike most Hollywood productions, very overtly pro-life.
Yeah,
right. It's
like
a
the fetus
baby.
doesn't give her say the word.
In fact, I heard
baby.
kind of like how Harry Potter had like a falling out with a lot of the fans because of controversial opinions. I heard that a lot of the original fans of the Twilight books kind of, after reading and watching the whole series, they kind of view the series is like under like kind of what's the word I'm looking for, just Mormon propaganda basically is what I've heard, and I don't really think that's true, but basically people are really upset about this pro-life stuff. They get all
it's weird because a lot of the movie has been argued as being kind of a very Obama era series that embraces a lot of those ideas, but at the same time, it does have a very heavy pro-life message in this film. So.
Yeah,
well, it's more like a couple characters have a pro-life stance, but yeah.
I like how he tells him here, like, oh, there's an idea that
It's a clump of scabs.
we might be able to turn her and save her at the very end, the last minute. But if it doesn't work and she dies, yeah, you can get your wish.
They
you can kill
they
me.
never really give a reason why they can't turn her now. By the way, they never really even explore that. I mean, it's like I feel like you could give a reason why that is, but they never give a reason why he can't turn her.
Or
now.
figure out that a vampire baby growing fast needs blood.
What also? The fact that you'd walk in the door and take one look at her and be like, oh, clearly someone needs to give her blood, right? There's a vampire baby inside of her, and no one's thought of that. You know,
it's kind of I just kind of stumble upon that information with a thought that Jacob has. It's like it's clunky.
It would apparently stop the baby's development.
Oh, you know what also is really awful that was in the book that wasn't in the movie was I heard this, but like apparently during that scene when Edward's talking to Jacob outside, he proposes the idea that we abort the baby, but I didn't realize she actually wanted a baby so bad, so maybe you can impregnate her, like do a stud thing basically. Like he says in the book specifically, like I don't care if he has 5, I just want her to be happy. I don't care if it takes 1 baby, 10 babies, or even puppies is exactly what he says. Basically,
like, Jacob, cut me.
Yeah, go. We're gonna abort your baby, but we'll make it up for you by having you have sex with the dog boy.
Sex with the dog boy, and he's so like, "What's the point of me loving you if you're just gonna die?" And she's like, "No, it's gonna be okay.
I'm strong enough." It's like,
stop it.
Why? Because you got plowed by Edward. Okay,
and Jacob again's like, "Fuck you, I'm leaving. I'm not sticking around." What she does anyway, and Edward's like. He's just his face is like, what the fuck is this love triangle?
That is something I do like about this movie is it's the end of the love triangle, and it's no more of that shit. Yeah,
he gets so mad he turns back into the werewolf and starts running into. Is this the
here
scene?
we go,
dude? Okay, yeah. This scene, I didn't know where this was going. Then I was like, okay, so they're all following. It's just going to be the wolves meeting up. When he starts talking, I'm. Shit,
well, it's because even like the lead up to this part, like as he's running through the woods, is the sound editing is horrible.
It's terrible.
And it's so really goofy. Bad. And then they actually start talking, and you're like,
I laughed.
What is happening?
But the Transformers talking to each other. And
exactly.
My name is Optimus Prime.
Megatron, you better back the fuck off.
Werewolves assemble. I think it's funny though, because like. You have this idea. I think I had this thought process of like, did they talk in the last ones? Like,
no.
Forget that. No, yeah, exactly.
No. They always had the vampires there, Edward there to tell you what they were saying when they were training. But like, this is so fucking stupid.
Well, because the way they try to pass it off, I think if you listen to the way they edit the sound right, like leading into this, I got the sense they were trying to do the Hunt for Red October thing, you know, where that movie like does that subtle transition from Russian to English. Yeah. They're doing like these growl sounds, and it just slowly merges into them talking. So I guess the idea is that they, if anyone were to come across this, it wouldn't sound like a conversation, but it should be wolves growling, but they're translating it. And I'm like, well, then why are you doing all the weird stuff with the voices and stuff? Why don't just have them turn back?
Turn human.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Just stand there and talk. Yeah.
And then if they wanted, because this is where Jacob kind of goes after the alpha, like, hey, I'm the real alpha. Like, he does that stupid speech. So you could have him doing that. And then right when he's done with this speech, turn back into the werewolf and kind of stand over the guy and be like, all right, fuck you. Like this, this is all trying to, I was laughing out loud so much. I was choking. I was like, what the hell is that? Dude. And again, when everybody in the room's looking at me going, is this really happening?
Part of the reason like none of this genuinely would resonate on a level that would make this good is because these are concepts the movies just have not explored at all.
No.
They've just presented them. I kind of get the sense that they're doing what a lot of the later Harry Potter movies did, which this was very much to their detriment as well. They're assuming you've read it. So there's probably information that makes this make more sense and actually makes it a little bit more meaningful. But the movies have just kind of shown the ideas and they expect you to just kind of do the legwork yourself, or again, read the books, then you'll understand this better. It's like, no, this is a movie. You're supposed to adapt it.
You know, it's weird to say or think about, but like, honestly, it's like, this would have been this is a series of movies I kind of should have gone and seen in the theater with packed houses full of ladies just to kind of see
their
like gauge their reaction to this kind of stuff. Like,
this is
oh my god, they're barking at each other.
Oh my god.
I'll say I did like it, like when Edward was reading Seth's mind, one of the werewolves, he was reading his mind to basically say, they're coming or whatever, or they're here. That was okay, but then when we got to this part, it just really, I was like, oh man, this is like Nickelodeon when they started getting into weird, like teenage shows and stuff like that. It was weird.
The whole idea of like Jacob being like, he's going to protect Bella against them, and then like these people start following because he's the real out. It's like, oh my, like her, she comes in, she's like, I know what it's like to be alone and an outcast, and it's like,
and where are their clothes coming from?
Yeah, really. And also, they did such a shoddy job. Like even like they just kind of introduced her character in the previous movie, and they're very clearly trying to pass her off as at least a semi main character, or I guess like at least a primary side character. And I'm like, y'all haven't really developed her at all, though. So, or the other kid who's with him. So I'm like, I don't know why these relationships mean anything.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he tells them what's going on, and then of course it's all about Bella, but like they haven't fed in a long time, so they're fucking dying. Everybody in the house because like they can't, nobody can feed, and then now that they know they can't go out because the wolves are like watching the whole perimeter. It's like, and then they keep saying like nobody's fed. It's all about Bella, and it's like, so what good is this? Like if you all die and can't protect her anyway because you haven't fed, and it's like the whole.
And it's all kind of just it's not like it doesn't really nothing really matters as far as this is concerned as when the plot goes, because they go away to feed, but by the time they come back the baby's already been had, so it ultimately doesn't end up meaning much at all. So it's like this movie like kind of botches its concepts for the ending so badly that it just makes it funny.
Yeah, then he tries
a lot of this drama just is for nothing.
Then he tries to get her to do the. Go ahead, buddy.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was going to say like that he tries to do the thing here of pushing her away to help protect her, and it's like just it's so cliche.
And we don't even really know why. It's like
and I'm like, just if she wants to stay to protect, why the fuck? Like, why are you doing this? But there's no. Go ahead, Enzo. Sorry.
Well, also what's so funny is like you guys haven't seen Breaking Dawn Part 2, so there's like a lot I would love to talk about right now, but I'll save it. But it's like like we were talking about like botching the ending. Yeah. Oh boy, you guys have no idea, man. You guys have no idea.
I know.
Yeah.
For those who have seen it, and then she gets to and she's like, "Fine, just stay because you can help me." And then Emmett's watch. It's like, again, like by the way, again to Dan's point, again, we have 44 minutes left in the movie. I don't know what nothing is really happening. It's just the threat of something about to happen, and
this is something I hate using Yahoo to search on your.
Yep, absolutely stretching the shit.
Remember in Blade when like they had like the elder text in the the indecipherable language, and the blood text or whatever, the blood scrolls, like ancient vampiric knowledge, from passed down, and instead it's like I'm just gonna look on Yahoo, and
technology.
They do the stretch thing a lot in Part 2 as well, because there's points. I won't spoil it, but like there's points before the battle scene where they have people walking and they show them walking for like 2 minutes. It's just
drawn out for no reason. Yeah,
everything is just so stretched and drawn out. Yeah,
you honestly could condense this movie down to about 40 minutes.
Dude, seriously,
you could do Breaking Dawn 1 and 2, condense a lot of their stuff down and tell a better, tighter movie in about 215, 220. Maybe you'd need that if you really wanted to. Have everything that you need in that film. But it's like, they really stretch this stuff out.
I spent like 4 minutes doing a home and garden for the place that they stayed at, because I got to see every candle in the place. I got to see every little cloth that they had hanging down. I got to see his bidet. He doesn't even shit in his.
Well, it's bad enough they're gonna play chess on their honeymoon, but they're gonna play chess on their honnemoon multiple times.
If they had played Monopoly, he would have turned her a lot faster.
Easily.
Which I'm pretty sure the chess scenes are just like like analogies for. I mean, they're just there to be like to demonstrate. It's like, oh well, they won't have sex until she beats him. Like that's when they decide to have sex again. Is she beats him? It's like, okay, well we can do it finally.
This whole idea of him. So now he's getting pissed off at her because the thing is destroying her bones and her body. And Carlisle's like, I don't know, whatever. It's gonna kill you basically. He's getting pissed here, and she's like, "You're gonna have to love this baby without me." And he's like, how could I? I can't.
It killed you.
It killed you, and it's like, oh my god, this is over dramatic. But look at her face, God. That's fucking scary, man.
You clearly slept with the Brazilian. It's looting your bones.
I will say that they really did a good job on making her look.
They did. Yeah, Enzo's right. This makeup here was well done.
It's on par with the first Captain America movie when they did with Chris Evans. You're like, what? When she takes her clothes off in the mirror, you're like, whoa.
I would actually argue it's a little better. I've always thought the Captain America effect looked really bad. I think
first. The hair came first. The body, I felt like it wasn't that good. But as far as this, it's
pretty good. Oh, they did a good job.
Yeah.
Look at his face here. Fucking bitch making me do another movie with you. Stupid.
So yeah, Captain America actually came out the same year as this. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, that's true. It does. It did.
Yeah. So she cries. She's upset. And on the bath scene where he sees her body from the mirror, it's like
the mirror effect's hilarious because you can tell it's not really her standing in front of a mirror.
No. Yeah. It's not.
That's not really her standing in front of a mirror. Nope. It's done with some weird special effects. It looks really awkward.
It does look awkward. Her head looks awkward on the body. Yeah, it's really strange.
It's like, oh my gosh, my wife is hideous.
Oh yeah, here we go again. I'm cold. Oh, I got it. Don't worry. It's like, bro, we get it.
Peas on her.
Yeah. There's some wolf piss. It'll warm you up, girl.
It works good for jellyfish. It'll work good for you.
There's them having another conversation, just all having a conversation about this is where they come up. So this is where Jacob thinks of the blood thing, right? It's just a blood he gives like some
he thinks it's probably just looking for something to bite, and he's like, I think you're right.
And nobody thought of this.
Wow, we really came across this that way. It's like I have both negative blood.
Yeah, they're like 100-year-old vampires and a doctor. And
yeah. And then she drinks the blood and like,
oh, this is so weird.
She like enjoy it. Oh, it tastes good. I'm like,
well,
what?
Okay, I get why.
Because of the baby.
I get mechanically why she would in this sense because she's having the cravings that her baby's having. I get why, but I'm like
that part. Yeah,
it's still really freaking weird that a human is drinking blood and enjoying it. It's really weird.
Anyone here watch?
Couldn't you just feed it through an IV or something?
I've never watched it. No.
Yeah, Will Ferrell would like to have a word.
Stuff like that in there.
Wait, what movie?
Yeah,
the show From. One of the characters gets pregnant. It's like with like one of the monster's kids, and she starts eating garbage and shit.
Oh,
and she likes the taste of it. Yeah,
interesting.
Well, at least we have people in real life who do that.
Yeah, certain cities. Yeah, yeah. So she's like, oh god, and then look, your heart rate. What did she say? Like your heart rate's coming back, or your blood?
Yeah, it works. I mean, what's funny is like Jacob's the only person who I'm like, okay, Jacob, I'm with you on this. This is pretty good.
That's a lot of blood.
Be sick, and I'm like, okay, that's a justified reaction.
And then she lies to her dad. She's a piece of shit to her dad in this whole series, man. Like, I get it here.
I mean, in this sequence, it makes sense.
I get it. I do get it.
And
I'm just saying the overall. If you add up all the things she's done to her poor dad, like it's pretty bad. But yeah, like here, and then he's like, I'm coming on a plane. Like he gets really pissed because like, no, I gotta see you, and she's like, I'm going to a clinic, and no, it's more like a spa, and it's like, what the fuck, because she thinks he's sick. He thinks she's sick. It's like this poor Charlie, man. That mustache has been through too much. Just too much.
He probably thought Edward had AIDS, and so
maybe he did,
or HIV at the time. And then he gave it to his daughter, and he's always pale and sickly.
That's what the V stands for. Yeah, vampire. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then she's like, visualize me on the couch eating pizza with. I'm like, okay, like it's not gonna make him feel any better.
He's like, you're right. I don't want to see you.
I don't want. Yeah, you're stupid.
I'm eating pizza with a lot of ketchup. A lot of ketchup.
Yeah, and then this is where Edward apologizes. He's like, it's really about us and blah 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 blah. God, shut up.
Who says the first year is the hardest? I've never heard that said before.
Dude, it's
fucking
stupid.
They always say the first year of the hardest. I'm like, I've never heard that before.
The first year of like childhood, maybe of having a child is the hardest.
Then he can read the baby's mind because it's growing so fast, and it's like, she loves the sound of your voice.
This idea I like. I even think they do it reasonably well. I was like, okay, this is as sappy and saccharine as the movie is. I kind of did like this part. I was like, okay, yeah, he's reading the mind of his baby, and because the baby's growing fast. I was like, all right, granted, you would think that the baby's thoughts might be a little bit simpler, but like he'd maybe be kind of reading just mere feeling, maybe having a hard time discerning it. But for the most part, I kind of liked this.
Baby's like, dude, share your Netflix account. We don't even have that. The Wi-Fi password in this bitch.
Yeah, she
like this might be like the first like sweet moment the movie
between them
lands. It kind of
he's probably just telling her that though. He's probably just like, yeah, the baby's super duper happy and it's cool. And
this baby's like, fuck you, I'm gonna eat you from the inside.
I am gonna burst out of you like an alien movie.
The baby just asked me if we had any A positive.
Yeah, this is where the blood. So this is where the plan is. They haven't fed. The blood's almost gone. So they have to get out and create a plan to get away from the wolves and all this shit. And Jacob's like, I know what to do. I know.
Now I'll say this: it doesn't make the part of her pregnancy that should make it a strain for her. Like, because I do think the whole pregnancy thing is very clunky in how it works. Because I'm like, okay, if she's a vampire human hybrid, yes, I can understand why the baby would crave blood at times. But it should also crave human food. So the only reason she probably should be in danger is that this thing is growing at an accelerated rate that could kill her. And I'm like, okay, you can argue that, you could argue something around that. Like maybe her womb is not growing fast enough for the baby. It's like you can do stuff biologically to make this make a little bit more sense. But in the whole vampire human hybrid thing, it really doesn't, because I'm like, she should crave both, shouldn't she?
Yeah,
she's both
you're right.
of them.
She is part human. Yeah, that's true. And Jacob calling out his pack here to basically he's like, yeah, you know what? When the time comes, and he's just buying time to get.
Yeah, you think you're actually getting this grand plan that's unfolding that's going to matter a lot. It's like, no, this is just a distraction. It's like, oh, okay. It's very lame.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's you tricked us. Aha! It's like, oh,
yeah, he just needed to distract him for like 2 minutes. Which it really should not be difficult for the vampires to escape the werewolves, because they can literally soar up to the top of trees. So just pass from tree to tree and then get over the edge and you're fine.
But hold on though, they haven't fed in weeks, Gord. They're weak.
So they can literally they can jump from one long side of the cliff to the other. Their abilities don't seem all that hindered.
That's true.
You know what's funny is like I know there is a legit vampire superstition that vampires can't cross running water. So the idea of them jumping over the river like that would not work, allegedly.
I didn't know that.
But then again, sunlight also should kill them. So
we saw Edward's reflection in the mirror earlier when he was checking out her weird Peggy shit. So.
Yeah. He glistens in the sun, Enzo. I don't think they're really going for authenticity and
breaking all the rules.
Exactly. It's a nice fucking house, though. God damn,
dude, that house is dope.
Yeah. I was like, man,
the house is the second best character after
Charlie. Dude, it is.
Yeah, really.
It's part of why Bella falls in love with him. That's women love that kind of crap. It's just like I was talking about with the Brazilian honeymoon suite. Like women love this, like postmodern architecture, and like those. I was looking at those stairs where they don't have the back on the steps. They're just like floating steps. Like how long until you walk up the stairs and your foot gets snagged on a step and you trip? It looks cool, but it doesn't. It's just an accident waiting to happen. Those kind of.
Talk about the stupidest part of the movie where she names the baby. I knew this was an ongoing joke for years. Right? And then
oh boy,
I knew the name, but like she's talking about like if it's a boy, EJ for Edward J. I'm like, all right, fine.
Yeah. Which, granted, I mean that's its own form of stupid, because
it's weird.
Like, this chick has no imagination whatsoever.
But and not to mention, like we're talking about the mixed signals and all that stuff. Like I think Edward Jacob is a more problematic name.
Problematic
is a stupid name, obviously.
Yeah. Then when she says like she wanted to combine the mother's name, and even like I love the Jacob's reactions here. Like, what the fuck?
Well, and the other thing is, I'm like, okay, it's like she's not been shown to be especially close to Carlisle's wife. I'm like she likes her, they like each other, but the only person in this family other than Edward that she's shown to be close to is Alice. So it's like
Renesmee.
We're just playing around with the first names. It's like, well, shoot, if you want to go by the people you're closest to, combine Charlie and Alice and name her Chalice or something.
Right.
Like
that's
that
why
would
she
make more
collapsed here.
sense.
That's why she collapsed here.
It's just stupid because everyone kind of fixates on Renesmee. Oh, that's a unique name, and oh, what a and you could be in the audience thinking that's a stupid name. But if I was Edward, I would be like, go back to the boy's name. What is that all about? Edward.
Yeah.
Like, that's seriously, that needs more.
That's why this
dissection.
face here, he's like, oh, you deserve to fall, bitch.
Also, did anyone else find it like distracting? I mean, granted, maybe the foreknowledge makes this even more distracting, but at the same time, it's like they are very insistent on calling the child a boy the whole movie. And I'm like, there's really no narrative reason why they do that. Plus, she just feels if he can read her thoughts, is there nothing in her thoughts that she didn't know that?
And he even says,
really
like,
weird
because he even says it. He's loves you, and because that's the way. That's what she thought. It's like it feels like a boy. It's like, but if you can read,
Renesmee's trans.
That's these days that would work.
Oh gosh, they probably will do that at some point. They'll be like, they were hinting at transgender.
It's the Squawshank redemption. Waylon Bocephus. Thank you, Waylon Bocephus. You know what, Bocephus? We haven't played this clip all night. You get the special clip.
Oh, give it.
Enjoy.
I'm retarded.
Emotional damage.
We're sick. Dan's like, I'm never coming on this show again. He's like, what the fuck is going on? I gotta add the one Jacob did where you put my face on there. I gotta add that.
You put your face on that?
You put my face as the
dude. And then Whitey's is the face in the mirror.
I gotta get like a bunch of it with all of our faces on it so I can.
Man, you gotta find.
I didn't have time this weekend, but I'm gonna.
Oh man, hey Dan, if you come back, we'll feed you cheese in the middle of the night. Okay.
I'm coming for something. I forget. I'm on the schedule for something.
Yeah, there's a few movies I got you down for. So this is where Bella's just like she's dying, and then he's like. He goes down into her stomach and starts sucking the blood, biting her.
Why is there blood on his face during this part anyway?
Because he bit into her vag to get the baby there.
As a dental cesarean.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because they're trying.
They have knives. They have knives.
Look at his face.
There's no time, Gord. There's no time.
I had to do
no, the one little detail of this scene that I did think was pretty good is when the blood gets like the blood on the knife actually makes Rosalie hungry.
Oh yeah,
I was like, I'm like, okay, that's a little something that I thought.
Yeah, she has to walk away.
You're just happy that they're consistent, Gord. I'm so sorry.
The one thing
like,
out of the whole.
This is like a really gross childbirth for real. This is pretty disgusting.
This is where the PG. This is where you think the PG-13. And then she just like watches them and dies, and then Jacob's like, I don't have to kill you. You're gonna live with this.
I think it would be a great thing if you could to be edited is edit to where it's like you don't quite see the blood on Edward's shirt, and he just keeps biting into her, and when he gets up, the blood's all over him. It's like, whoa, dude,
what were you doing?
What's funny because like she's dying of blood loss, and Jacob is just going to start giving her mouth to mouth because he's just
what are you gonna do? Well, so this is where he injects the venom into his.
It's so funny they just have a drawer with syringe full of Edward's venom, in case.
Well, that I get the sense that was something that they probably had prepped, because they had the idea of they'll turn her at the last second. So I'm like, okay, that makes some sense.
I want to see a venom harvesting scene of him like making that syringe.
Yeah. It's like you should show it. I think it would be
fangs like a rattlesnake.
Jacob is very upset. Okay, he's got to go vent and cry.
Whitey, did you get that cheese thing from 8750? That just hit me.
Yeah.
Dude, let me go boil you an egg, baby.
Dude, maybe it's like a rattlesnake, they bite on the cup with the little cover, and then they milk the snake venom
out of it. Yeah, she's this. Oh, that's a nice shot. There you go. Blood coming out of every orifice.
Out of her tiny, skinny little legs.
And then you see the venom going through her body, and you're like, okay.
X-Men transformation.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep. Okay, so they give you the next 20 minutes of basically like, you're not supposed to know if she makes it or not, or something like that. Like there is, after they showed that right there, there's no reason to wonder Yeah, she's gonna make it. Obviously, you know,
there's a part 2 to this, so we know.
Yeah.
And then they know the the wolves are like, yeah, she's dead because of the. So they're like, oh, we're gonna go kill everybody now. It's like, oh god, it's so fucking stupid. And then this part, okay. So I knew there was a CG. I didn't realize the CGI came this early into. Like I knew it was in the next movie. Oh my god, dude! Like this shot, I was like, what?
Like, unreal.
Oh, it's so
every frame of catastrophe, basically.
Look at this.
Look at that.
Look at that.
That's absurd, dude.
Renesmee. Oh, that's so bad.
Jeez.
It's and then the imprinting here. Yeah, it's like
imprinting a baby.
Yeah, and I'm like,
what the fuck is wrong with this guy,
this
dude?
is so creepy.
And this is what I was talking about earlier. It's like the fact that the actress they chose was, I want to say she was like 11 or 12 for real. So I'm like, okay, the CGI on the baby obviously is funny because it looks awful. The fact that they CGI'd the older version of her,
thank you.
I thought that I was like, this is kind of creepy that you're doing it this way.
Yeah, it's really
because this in real life is a child.
So she's dying inside, losing blood. But hey, we gotta go fight the wolves.
By the way, you all know that's Murph from Interstellar, right?
Is it
Murph?
Really?
That's Murph.
How did I not notice that?
Murph, because the real Murph doesn't have a CGI face.
Murph, how was your ghost, Murph? Shut up. That's Dan's favorite movie. Don't make
it. Is my favorite movie.
See, I told you.
Why? No, it's fine.
Oh,
let's not.
I love
it. Yeah, no,
we did that stream already.
Don't worry, I had the sound clip from it. So
yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, the wolves coming in. This fight scene is just. This is where Emmett shows his worth. Gord, he beats the shit out of a lot of the wolves. And
what's funny is you would think that it would be Jasper would be the highlight of the fight because he's the one who has all the fighting.
Yes, thank you.
They keep forgetting their own lore and their own movies because like Jasper should be the one who's like holding his own and actually doing a good job here, but it's a very non-dramatic fight because of the way it's edited, and it's like,
yeah, this is where Edward comes out like he imprinted, so they can't. It's their own law; they can't touch the baby. It's like, bro, he's
their most absolute law.
He's a pedo dog, man. That's like, come on.
He's a petophile.
Petophile. Oh, yeah, and then he bit her already, right? Is this where he marked?
He bit her a lot.
He bit her all over the place.
He's like chomping on her in desperation everywhere, you know.
Oh god!
But now they know she's alive. It's just she's taking a little while.
Yeah,
the morphine is what is kind of keeping her asleep at the moment. It's like makes it like I guess the morphine had an effect on her to where it looked like she was dead.
Gord, he said to listen to her heartbeat. Remember?
Well, no, I'm saying, but he's saying the reason why she looks like she's dead is because of all the morphine.
And this is where all the changing happens. The hair starts getting back. Her boobs, whatever she had there comes back. I don't know if there's boobs.
Her chest pops out.
Yeah, and then the skin color's white, but she's this fucking flashback. Oh god. I'm like, didn't we get enough of this shit in the first By the way, the only thing that happened is in the last 10, 15 minutes of the movie out of an hour and 45 minutes. That was it.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that this is a 2-hour movie and we've been talking about it for an hour and 20 and it's pretty much wrapping up already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. More evidence that this could have totally been compressed into one long movie.
100%.
100%, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. And then everybody's watching her. And then the heartbeat stops. And then obviously she
like Gordon says, it looks like X-Men shit right here.
Yeah,
it's even kind of weird that the eye reveal is like the musical cue is ominous. It's like, why? I thought this was supposed to be a good.
Now she's fucking immortal. Linkin Park right here.
I've become so numb. Okay. That's it. So I'm looking. I know that, like I said, an hour and 57 minutes, but I go, dude, are the credits really like 13 minutes long almost? And they were. Is there another scene that I missed?
There is
a
post-credit scene.
I totally missed the after credit scene.
I didn't watch it. So this is kind of why I sort of thought they should have kept the scene that's in the extended cut because they kind of
is this the wedding invitation?
Kind of bookending that. No, this is the scene after where they tell him that she had a baby. And they literally kill this girl because she made a spelling error. Not even joking.
S sweet B. Okay. Yeah, I actually was so depressed after watching it. I didn't even watch the after credit scene. So now that I'm getting it, I'll Okay, so that's why the credits were extra long.
Yeah, and he's like, at least our dispute with the Cullens is over. And he's like, no, it goes back further than that. And I'm like, they've done nothing to build the Volturi up at all. And they had the potential to be kind of the most interesting thing about the franchise. They've done nothing with them, really.
I got to get that clip on there for next week when he starts laughing when he sees Renesmee.
Why they named a kid after like? It sounds like some drug that they used during COVID that was like very bad for you and all that. Like, bro, my kid remdesivir. What? That's such a bad name.
About Renesmee.
Jamalam is like the end. Like, yeah, nothing happens.
Yeah, that's it. That's the movie.
Yeah. The next movie is it back to being over 2 hours or is it?
No, it's this one. The next one's about this long.
Hey, we did get a black dude in this movie though. Like, we got one that like let her in. I guess I think she was following his grades.
There was a black dude.
Oh yeah, at the wedding.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, Gord. I guess it's. So Vex said this trivia is not as long as last week's one. So, I don't know if that's true, but if you want to go through that, Gord, please do.
Well, beforehand, I'm just letting you know that I am sending you Aro's laugh in the MMM chat.
I am so adding that.
You'll have to edit it down a little bit, but
I will.
All right. Oh wait, hang on. We gotta do this right. Hang on.
Oh God.
There we go.
There we go, Vex. There. Thank you.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Vex face on.
White bear.
Gotta give
MMM Breaking Dawn Part 1 chat. The domestic intake for Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1 is $281 million with an international intake of $430 million for a worldwide gross of $712 million.
God.
Wow, that's really good.
I'm thinking you're making me come again.
Exactly.
Wait.
The budget for this movie was $110 million, which I think that's the second largest budget of the series. Holy crap.
Should have spent a little more on that baby.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oof, that was rough. Released November the 18th, 2011. It grossed $71.6 million on its opening domestic. It was that $71.6 million domestically on its opening day. The opening weekend in the US and Canada was $138 million, and worldwide $291 million, the 10th largest worldwide opening of all time. And it's the second highest grossing film of the franchise. Holy crap. That's why they made it into two movies. That's the entire reason, was all that money.
That's why Kristen Stewart has so much money.
Mm-hmm. Whitey. Robert Pattinson took a boat driving lesson so he would be able to drive the boat in the honeymoon scenes. Despite taking lessons, he crashed the boat in both lessons while filming in Brazil.
Nice. Nice.
Originally, the sex scene between Edward and Bella caused the film to receive an R rating by the MPAA. The scene had to be reshot and edited to receive a PG-13 rating. According to interviews, Robert Pattinson and Bill Condon blamed Kristen Stewart's wild thrusting during filming.
What the fuck? Okay.
Condon said, "Well, I think that's true. Kristen got very into it. I hate to be clinical, but there are guidelines on thrusting intercourse. Not to make people too excited. It was never explicit, but I think any movement that suggests that it is what the MPA objects to."
Oh my God.
That's kind of hilarious. See, the wedding scene in part 1 was the last scene the cast and crew shot. It was also shot under tight security. A helicopter hovered above the set. Off-duty police officers surrounded the location, and sheets and umbrellas were used to protect the set from aerial shots being taken. Why? Were they worried about getting?
We have a request here. Sorry, from Waylon. Waylon, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Fine, here you go.
I'm retarded.
It's the music.
It still sounds like either Gord or Hank Hill is singing that.
Gord.
It's so beautiful. Can you imagine Hank Hill singing that shit?
I kind of can.
Yeah.
Oh, there are over 1,400 special effect shots in this film, most of which were used on Kristen Stewart to achieve Bella's pregnancy appearance. You know what? For some context, I'm going to add a little bit here. Just for some context, you know how many special effect shots were used in Master and Commander, which looks remarkable to this day? Half that.
Yeah, wow.
It used half that many special effect shots.
Filmmakers.
And has aged unbelievably well.
Has AIDS? Oh, I thought you said it.
Oh my gosh!
You said it had AIDS. I was like, what?
Robert Pattinson went through a strict diet and exercise regimen for 6 months in preparing before filmmaking. He stopped his routine after filming the much talked about sex scene. So I guess he just wanted to look good, I suppose. In order to keep the budget on both parts of Breaking Dawn reasonable, even though it was substantially greater than the previous installments, much of the film was shot in and around Baton Rouge, Louisiana, due to the state's tax incentives.
Interesting.
In this film and the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2, Jackson Rathbone has his own hair rather than a wig. We alluded to that already. For the first time in the franchise since Twilight. Stephenie Meyer was present on set during all the filming. She was watching. She saw the thrusting. Oh my gosh. Where's the bed sheet between them?
Well, it's kind of like Born on the 4th of July. The guy that the movie was based on insisted on being there to the point where like Oliver Stone and Tom Cruise told him like, "Hey, fuck off," you know. And that's like the same thing with like Stephenie Meyer. It's like, yeah, we get it. You're kind of the showrunner, but come on. Ugh.
Jesus.
Micromanaging.
Big time.
Oh wow, that's we'll have to figure out a way to condense it. I should have read this article beforehand because Vex provided a link to an interesting article, but we'll get to that in a sec. So, Sofia Coppola was in talks to direct. She said we had one meeting and it never went anywhere. I thought the whole imprinting werewolf thing was weird. The baby, too weird, but part of the earlier Twilight could be done in an interesting way. I thought it'd be fun to do a teen vampire romance, but the last one gets really far out.
Oh my god.
It's gotta suck when a competent filmmaker comes and says, you know, your story, it's a little weird. It's we might need to get rid of that whole thing because it's a bit creepy.
Yeah.
Especially weird coming from the director of Virgin Suicides, you know?
Yeah. Or Lost in Translation, we have older Bill Murray, like backing on Scarlett Johansson. Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson were each paid a combined $25 million for the last 2 Twilight films, as well as 15% of the gross of both films.
Whoa!
Stewart's earnings made Forbes declare her the highest paid Hollywood actress in 2012.
No kidding.
Wow.
That's a lot of cheddar. And apparently there's this article on Mirror, cursed, grotesque Twilight baby doll, terrified cast with real life hauntings.
Oh my god.
Let's see. Dubbed Chuck Esme.
What?
They called the dog Chuck Esme. This dog is kind of amazing looking, but it's horrifying.
Nice.
Let's see, by the dubbed Chuck Esme by the cast and crew members. The weird-looking doll has red hair and oversized forehead and big blank eyes that seem to stare right through you. The film's director, Bill Condon, called Renesmee a horror show and one of the most grotesque things he had ever seen. That might be good reason to tell your special effects crew to do a better job. He added, there was one shot where I call cut and suddenly she turns her head and mechanically stares right into the camera. It was incredibly disturbing. Renesmee inside of a case is a piece of memorabilia in a permanent Forever Twilight collection in the city of Forks, Washington, where the films were set. Lizzie Andros, Forks Chamber of Commerce executive director, said, she's very dear to me, but a lot of people hate her cuts.
Yeah.
To her, it was almost like they turn into zombies and they would walk towards her. Children are very drawn to her. She has those kind of eyes that watch you. One TikTok user who visited the exhibition said she was told the 35-pound doll was haunted. In a video post, she said, the lady that was there told us she was haunted. And that thing would move around her case, and sometimes they would come in the mornings and she would be in a different spot. And then her socks used to be white, but now they're a different color because they got dirty when she walks around. Laughing. We don't know what's going on inside that case. She could be alive. We have no idea. Should I share my screen so you can see how horrible this doll looks? Holy crap.
If you want
This
to,
is it's pretty messed up looking. Hang on. Ba-doo. There we go. All right.
Bro, what the hell? Yeah, that's the stuff of nightmares. Oh my god.
I mean,
and Jacob saw that and he thought I'd hit it.
That's Smash.
Yeah, right.
Well, they ditched the robot baby for the computer animated toddler in the sequel, and honestly, it's not that much of an improvement.
No,
not really. Not really. It's gosh,
God,
that's messed up looking.
Oh,
it is really messed up looking.
Chucky if he went trans.
Well, didn't Chucky's child was trans, right?
Well, I didn't know Chucky had a son.
Seed of Chucky, yeah. Watch
Chucky.
The Child's Play franchise is very consistent in terms of quality. I recommend all of them.
Yeah,
but I've seen the first three. I haven't seen anything past the first three. Cool.
They get pretty funny. Yeah. Oh god, that's scary. Jesus.
There you go. That's
Satan's
Is that all the trivia?
That's all the trivia.
She did say it was a shorter trivia this week.
Yeah.
So.
No new character. Well, I guess the only new characters were the cleaning people or whatever, or I don't know what you call them. People who own that island house or whatever that take care of it. So
I'm just mad that Christopher Walken's not in these movies.
The natives.
I think it's for the best that he wasn't.
No, well, it would have made it even funnier though. You got to admit
it would have. It would have. You could bring him in wearing the exact same like outfit he wore in Sleepy Hollow, and he'd kind of fit right in.
Oh, 100%. Wow.
Wow. Volturi.
We are superior vampires. Anyway. All right. Thank you, Gord, for the beautiful Vex impersonation you tried there. It was awesome.
and thank you to Vex again for providing the trivia despite taking her break. She provided trivia for all of these movies.
It's so ironic. She picked the worst movies to just not be on the panel for a month. No, I get it.
It was her idea to do this as Twilight.
I know.
It's her idea.
It's okay. No, yeah, she's awesome. She still did all the thumbnails and the trivia. She's fucking amazing. All right, let's go around the horn and give our final thoughts. Dan, since you made it through, we got through that quickly. Thank God. But
I just still can't get over the imprinting the baby thing.
Nobody.
I don't get it. Like, I think in his mind he did it so he could protect her from the.
That's
other...
what the plot wants you to think. Yeah.
Yeah, but he did it so he could eventually fuck her, right? Like that's what he was doing.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You know what's sad is I'm glad you bring this up because there was a narrative out to that where they say you could even be like a brother to this person, and I'm like, you could have gone that direction and it wouldn't be so creepy.
No. Yeah. Well, because they're trying to say like she grows at an accelerated rate.
And here's the thing, that doesn't make it okay. It's like if anything, that makes it worse. That when she is going to look of age, she really won't be.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So they kind of did all the lead work to make it as awful as possible.
Oh, it's so bad. It is bad.
But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, if you had to give a rating to this, like a final analysis, what would you give it?
A rating?
Any score rating? Any type of rating you want to give it?
I'll give it a 6.9 for the baby.
Just the baby. Like Esme gives it a...
No, we didn't ask you what Jacob would give it.
No.
Let's give it a 2.5. 2.5.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Mr. Stupenzo, what about you, buddy?
Man, honestly, like we talk about, like if you think about Breaking Dawn 1 and 2 is one movie, you could probably say part 3 is the worst one. But if you think of part 1 and 2 as two individual movies, I think this is the worst out of the entire franchise.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so not a lot happening, and everything that does happen is weird, and you don't understand the creative choices And it's a shame because, like I said, you could tell that a lot of people put a lot of effort into animating these big dumb wolves and emaciating Kristen Stewart and set design and costume design and hair and makeup. It's all there. It's all there. Like they brought big Hollywood in force and to make this movie, and it's like it gets like a 2 out of 10. Like it's watchable in a bad way. It's so bad it's good, but it's goddamn garbage.
Yeah, it is pretty bad. Did you give it a score rating?
I'd say 2 out of 10, probably.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah, it's God. White Bear. What about you, buddy? What's a penguin?
I thought of this like a couple months ago, but it still applies. Okay, I'm gonna. This is freaking terrible. The movie could, like we said earlier, it could have been summed up in 45 minutes. There were maybe 3 parts that we all kind of like sat around and kind of complimented. That's about it. And it is a big bucket of wow. And so I'm going to give this 2.5. Out of 10.
Yeah, I do agree. Lord King, imprint your thoughts on us all.
Oh, no. Okay, so this is where I would still contend that the previous movie is the worst one, just because it is more of a jumbled mess that does so many things wrong. This is a weird thing where I think because it's the simplest plot, it has the least number of actual like writing issues. It still has plenty of them, but it has like the least amount of writing issues. But there's also all of that unnecessary padding that, of course, weighs this movie down horribly. But it also does a couple of things right and kind of even really right from time to time, which is kind of saying a lot for this movie. So I think all things considered, I'd probably say it's probably still like the second worst one for me overall because of all the padding. But
Eclipse had a much higher Rotten Tomatoes score though.
Oh yeah, well really? This one of course makes the audience it's like the mistake this makes is expecting your audience to enjoy a movie this boring. So it is a very boring film.
Because at least the last one had like the big vampire war and Bryce.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it's like the last one has all of the ideas at least. So most people aren't going to think about why all that stuff doesn't make a lick of sense. So they're just be like, yeah, stuff's happening, cool. But this one, I think it's probably the second worst one for me overall. I will give it 3 Skelehors out of 10.
Skelehors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can't believe that we've made it almost through a whole month of these movies. Like I'm sitting there Friday watching this after work, and I'm just like, why are we doing these? Like I agreed to do this, like Vex's idea, but I still have to agree to it. And I'm like, why did I? But you know what? It's all in good fun.
By the way, most of the extended scenes don't add a lick to this. Like, there's
that's
very little that is added to the story, other than maybe that first scene is pretty funny.
Yeah. So this was. I would probably say I give this 3. Why is a human drinking blood? 10. I just don't. I can't. I don't get it. I don't get it. But I'm glad that it's coming to an end. I am looking forward to the next one because I know from what I've heard from Gordon and other people that the next one is just fucking hilarious.
It's bonkers.
Yeah, it's just crazy and hilarious. It's funny in a stupid way. Like I can't wait.
Last one legitimately might be. It's going to be between that one and the first one.
The first one, we had a blast doing the first one because it was so stupid. But like I've heard the second part. So I listen. It is what it is. Thank Christ when we come out of March, we get back into the manly, good movies that we're doing. Oh my god, because I need it. I need to get away from this teen drama shit. But anyway, it's been fun. So that's my score. That's it. That's part 1. We got through that pretty quickly because again, not much happens in this movie.
Nope.
So Dan, tell us what you got coming up, where you're going to be. You've been killing it lately on your channel with these show reviews. So tell us what you got, what you're doing, man.
Yeah, thank you. We're doing Severance, and then starting next week, we're going to be doing Yellow Jackets, and then I'm thinking of solo doing the White Lotus season 3. I'm not positive on that yet, because then it would be 3 shows at once. But Severance is awesome, guys. If you're not,
I've heard good things. Yeah, I've heard good things.
It's so good. It's like awesome. So good. So it's really exciting to do that. We just did episode 5, so episode 6 we'll have out on Friday. Sweet. Yeah, it's exciting stuff over there. Yeah,
good for you, man. You guys are doing a great job over there.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, Stupenzo. I know, obviously you're streaming a lot, but you got a show tonight too, or after this, right?
I decided in the middle of this, my bloodlust has not been satiated, and I'm gonna go live right after this. I think I'm gonna go pick up some booze first, and then I think we're gonna
good idea.
Just do a President's Day Stupenzo cast. Talk about watch some weird crap. Talk about these gay reality shows I've been watching. There's one called Playing It Straight from 2004, and then common people just told me about one about a gay DILF dating show hosted by Stormy Daniels. We'll also watch some weird,
Gord has been playing it straight for his whole life. So.
Yeah, we're gonna goof off, basically.
Yeah.
But I will be here next week for Breaking Down Part 2, so I'm excited for that. And then this Wednesday, as like a Valentine's Day hangover movie, I think I snuck past the copyright people. I think I snuck past a full-length commentary for the 1991 movie Whore, which was surprisingly good. It was actually pretty great. It was like one of the better movies we watched.
I remember that movie. Yeah,
it was pretty rowdy. For some reason it's not technically allowed on YouTube, but I think I got the overlay on just right, and so we'll hopefully it'll stay up. So check that out Wednesday. It'll be otherwise I'll just be around, floating around usual spots. I think tomorrow I'll be on Lance's channel, Outcast Creative, Nielsen ratings, and I think Wednesday me and Gord might be doing 28 Weeks Later on Blue Collar's channel. So
nice, very nice. Hell yeah, that's good shit right there. White Bear, you beautiful man who I love. You've just been playing video games your whole life, the last few months, right? forgetting you exist. You got sick. Are you ever gonna do your pixelated shit again? Because I miss those.
Maybe. But I am really invested in this game from 1997 right now, so I got a lot going on with that. But other than that,
you could stream the game.
He's getting divorced. His wife.
You can. It's gay role play, so like if you frame that, it's totally ruining their other gay role play. So it is what it is. But hey, just. Check me out on the Twitters. The link is probably somewhere. White Bear Whitey on X.com or whatever. Ooh, we probably have an old link now that they went to X and all that. But anyways, find me on there. I tweet funny shit, and if something new comes out, you'll be the first to smell it. So.
Oh, Whitey. And then Gore King, of course. I know you got a lot of shit you're working on, and
all the pictures.
I'm sorry, I got distracted there for a second. Go ahead, Rob or Gord. Shout out your stuff,
buddy. Sure. So yeah, I was planning on. I've already got streams I'm a part of this week. I've got obviously did this one, and I've got 28 Weeks Later. We're going to be doing that Wednesday. That should be fun. I don't particularly like that movie, but it'll be fun to talk about it. I was going to do my breakdown of Miracle tomorrow, but then I watched Captain America: Brave New World, and I started writing a script for a video. So I might have 2 videos in successive weeks. I was going to do Aladdin Poorly Explained this week, which I'm almost done editing that. So it really will depend on how much I like the script and the length of the video that it would need. But right now it's looking like it won't be super long. So I'll probably have that one first, followed by Aladdin next week.
Gotcha.
And then let's see. I think that's all I've got this week. I think that's
wow. It. All right. We'll be definitely.
You were able to find a good enough rip to watch that movie?
There's actually quite a good one. I'm not gonna
oh wow.
There's actually a really good one out there. I
did catch one over the weekend, but I can't put myself through that. I'll just wait for
the picture. Like the picture quality on the one they've got up is pretty top notch. The audio is maybe a little bit unclear, but it's not hard to follow at all.
You're still not missing.
You got to do better, Mr. Pirate.
Mr. Pirate. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So we're back here next week on MMM on my channel, on our channel, and then it's Nadia will be back. She did say she will be back next week. Of course, Enzo's back, and then Mrs. Sassy, I think, wants to come back for that last one just to shit on the movie. Because so either way, we'll all be back for that. And then the February is over. Thank God, it's a short month, and then next month we get back to the manly stuff. The good stuff. I'm looking forward to March. We have a good run of stuff.
Pitch Perfect. No.
Yeah, all 4 movies. The whole month.
Wait, there's 4 of those?
I think there is, right? There's 3.
I thought there was 3.
3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I hope there's only 3.
Oh God, please.
I think they want to make a 4th one though. I heard them talking about
they
that.
do.
Yeah.
They do. Oh God.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to thank all of our guests, Dan Stepenzo. Always a pleasure, dude. Please, their information is in the description. And please subscribe to their stuff. They have great content.
There is 4 of them.
There is, right?
Shit, really?
There's a Peacock. Well, I think it's okay. The 4, it's really a series, is what they've got out there. That's Pitch Perfect, Bumper in Berlin. Okay.
I think I had one of those one time.
that sounds like Breaking Dawn 2's wedding plan.
Breaking Dawn. Thank you to the chat. You guys are amazing. Thanks for the super chats. We will be back next week. Thank God to end this stupid franchise. But thank you to everybody. We love you. Have a great week.
Night.
And goodbye.